lovely bunch. I hope you're all well and welcome back to my channel. So in my last video, I of course told you all that I'm getting back on the platform. I didn't go into much detail about my training, but this week I want to take you through everything. So technically this is week 2 of this current block and we are 11 weeks out this weekend. So this is my 11 weeks out week of training. So I'm not naked, by the way, just wearing a bandeau. So maybe I should film from down here. These first initial weeks, just bumping up exposure, getting that feedback, focusing on the technical aspects and just being as nitpicky as I can be. But yeah, so today is primary squats and I guess technically primary bench, but it's tempo work. And a lot has changed since I last took you through it. So I can't wait to show you what I'm up to, my new gym. We have microphones so I can actually speak to you while I'm doing my exercises rather than like putting it down, going and doing my set and then like coming back and, you know, giving you my feedback and everything, which is lovely. I had protein oats this morning. I'm gonna have my banana and then I'm gonna head to the gym and show you what we're up to. Quick outfit check, powdered blue effortless leggings and the tangerine bandeau from Honor Active. I'll post my affiliate support link because literally everything that I wear in the gym is Honor Active. Like I'm that girly now. I'm dreading having to put a singlet back on in the gym, but I know that that's probably coming in like 9 weeks time, so that's going to be really fun. I have a new car, so I'm like figuring out the best place to put you because it's been so long since we had a car chat. I'm just gonna have my nana and then I'm gonna head off to the gym. This session in particular is brutal at the moment because I have a top set of 4 reps for squats and then 2x7 back offs, which is hella volume. The block before this, just before I went away, I was running singles. The last single that I hit was an RP 8, had a week off for holiday, then we had like an entry week, then my week 1, and now coming in. So this week I have an RP 7 top set. I'm really sorry for anyone that doesn't like me eating, by the way, but I've got to get this down me. So last week we did an RP 6 at 95, so I'm hoping today's probably going to be at about 100 at an RP 7, and then 2x7 back offs at minus 15% of that top set. A tempo double bench press, and the tempo is 3-2-0, which means a 3-second eccentric, a 2-second pause at the chest, and then my normal drive up. So that's like 5 seconds under tension, which is a lot for bench, and then 4x2 back offs at a set load of 55. There's not like a lot in my sorry, I'm really sorry. Oh my god, so there's not like a lot in my program at the moment. But like I say, it's just carefully selecting everything properly, managing fatigue. I'm training 4 days a week still, like all of that is as usual. Let's go and train, kiddies. I feel like there's more that I want to say, but I don't know right now, so let's just get to the gym, do it. I'll show you, I'll put my mic on. Anyway, let's go. We're all warmed up. This is gonna be my last warm-up. I'm doing 97 because my coach reckons it's 102 potentially. That's top set, which is interesting. Definitely just spat. That was okay. This is where I hate judging RPs because the jump from a double to a quadruple anyway is significant, plus more weight. Okay, yeah, we're loading 102. We're just gonna do it. Yeah. Yeah, go on, nice. Yeah. What? One more. I don't like 4 reps because I've got this camera for filming reels, got this for filming for video analysis, and then you for YouTube. I've got my circle of cameras. Anyway, that was alright. A bit messy, but okay, watching that back, I actually would say that was bang on a 7, which is a very rare occurrence for me. And like my coach was literally just saying, like, it's going to be the RP if you think that it's going to be the RP, because every time I second guess, like, oh, this might be like right on the line, is always when I overshoot. Great job for that. And this is the first time in
well over a year that my estimated 1 rep max has now pushed past what my all-time PB is. My estimated 1 rep max was 117, last week was 120, this week it's jumped to 127, which is kind of mad. Time for back offs, I've got 2 by 7 at minus 15%, which is 87. I'm probably gonna end up staying, like, staring straight at you. Sorry. Oh, that was hard. Yeah?
The last one is where you're tired.
Yeah. My face? I know. One thing about me is I cannot hide my expression. I'm done. She disappeared. I was like, what the you behind me? I was going to be like, that was better than last week. Anyway, that felt better than last week. A lot better. I clipped the rack. I literally had my mic in my mouth that entire time. Done. 4 sets of doubles, 1 set of tempo, accessories. Put chest press back in again this week.
Yeah, I did.
So
it was zeroed out last week.
Yeah. So that's just your bum in my camera. Please, please. I think you're gonna move now. I was like, no. 4 variations: dumbbell press and chest press.
You're welcome.
Okay, 2 by 10 RPE 7. She's got like 4 exercises, but you can see how much that starts to rack up like very quickly. And lastly, we have a 2 by 12 belt squat at RP 6. This has been one of my favourite accessories for rebuilding. Right. Feels heavy. It's brutal.
I'm back from the gym. I'm just now making lunch. It's 4 minutes past 4, so I kind of fucked up on the timings a little bit there. I need to weigh myself tomorrow, but ideally we're literally just like keeping as is. So essentially with my nutrition, what I'm doing at the moment is just trying to focus on consistency and obviously smashing out things like my protein, other externals, like making sure that I'm getting like a good amount of steps in each day, just those basic. For anyone that hasn't watched my channel before, by the way, I'm like 80% vegan. I went straight in with like beans, chickpeas, lentils, pulses with most of my meals, and it just wasn't sitting right. Like I was getting quite an upset tummy, a lot of bloating. And obviously around training, that stuff that you want to minimize is your tummy being aggravated, wearing a belt, or feeling bloated. It just doesn't really work. And so I spoke to my coach about it, and I was looking through and I realized my fiber was crazy. So one thing I've had to do this week is massively address that. Since we got back from holiday, 1 day a week where we just sit down, plan out every single meal. Let me show you. Every single meal, and that's including snacks, absolutely everything to a T, inputting into my fitness pal. And I know that sounds like a lot and a lot of dedication and faff, but it does just literally mean that for the rest of the week I do not have to think about my nutrition. I just follow it, I do it. We realised that it was definitely the fibre intake that was fucking with my tummy. It was stuff like the chickpeas, which I realised irritate me before, and it isn't necessarily the foods in isolation, but it now makes sense to me as to why chickpeas have always been like an irritable food, because the fibre count is so high. And so if I'm not tracking that day properly, specifically looking at fibre, and then I have something that's got chickpeas in it, or a high amount of chickpeas, like the whole can is what I was having in a lot of these meals, that then results in irritation, bloating and stuff like that. So I've minimized all of that this week, and I've properly accounted for it all. So it's all inputted, properly into my fitness pal, but that's why with things like squats I need to just make sure that I'm being realistic with how much I can have timing wise. So that's essentially what I'm trying to do with my nutrition. It's all a little bit all over the place, but it's not like I have to be super duper strict. And then I've literally just got check-ins for the rest of the day, dinner, edit a bit of content, and that's my Monday. Check-ins are done. We're just going to drop some parcels off at the post office and then go for a walk, because when I say I've literally done next to no steps today, I've done next to no steps today. I've done 2,300. So we're going to go on a walk.
Well, yeah, because, yeah.
God, that was it. How do I reset? Let's go.
I'm just confused what I'm supposed to be doing. You told me to look at it.
Morning. 7 weeks out, day 2. This morning I did a weigh-in, and it's the first one I have done in freaking ages. But I have to say, I'm shocked. My natural, I would argue, body weight, as in when externals are normal, I'm in routine, I don't track, and I'm just like going with the flow. It usually sits at about 67, 68. So like, I already know competing in an under 69 category, I'm gonna be relatively comfortable. I weighed in this morning at 65.55. It's not going to dictate any drastic changes, and I'm also about 2 weeks after my period, so I know in terms of my cycle I'm regular as clockwork, and this is going to be the point in my cycle at which my body weight is going to be sitting at its lightest. Unfortunately, if I'm following trends correctly, then it means I will be very close to my period at the time of comp. I'm hoping, and I think it will mean that I'm due on, not that I'll be on. And if that's the case, then that is the point at which my body weight would be at its heaviest or its highest, because that's the point where my water retention skyrockets, and so obviously on the scales I'm going to be heavier. Plan of action is basically to do a weigh-in twice a week up until comp, but specifically looking at the next 4 weeks to kind of dictate any tweaks that we might want to make. So for example, if we're seeing a steady increase to my cycle and then a steady decrease after my cycle, but we know that I'm going to be competing at that sort of peak, that will dictate probably continuing roughly as we are. However, if that peak actually isn't as high as we're maybe anticipating, it just means that we can push my calories up a little bit more, so I'm sitting slightly more comfortably within the weight class. At the minute I'm just looking to maintain, but obviously I seem to be maintaining at my lower body weight, or my lowest body weight, which just indicates that we've got a little bit more wiggle room there than we basically initially anticipated, which is fine. I have a client call this morning, and then it's my video analysis day for my girls, so I just need to go through all of my client videos, get their feedback to them. Then it's day 2 of training around lunchtime. I will likely do steps on the treadmill at the gym today because the weather is looking not so nice. Just in my tum, and I'm gonna head off to the gym. Quick outfit check again. I have effortless shorts, I've got a timeless jacket, and then I've got the timeless strappy bralette on. Today's session is primary deadlifts, Larsen bench, and then I've basically got back and glutes, so like posterior accessories.
The gym is hella busy today, and I always get nervous filming when it's super busy. So top double today, RPE 7. Last week we hit 127, so 127.5 for a double at an RPE 6, which actually is the number that sparked my injury. So to be hitting that number comfortably for reps and not have a complete breakdown was a huge mental win. So hopefully for today's RPE 7 we're looking at about 132 territory, which I think I've obviously hit more than 132, but I've only ever hit it for a single, so I think actually this would be a volume PB. I feel like I'm really in my head today, just filming in the gym and stuff, so just get our head down, try and get it done. So finish warming up, get that pre-dummy, and then we'll go. Second to last warm up, 120. Okay. 1, 2, 3 double. Shit, I'm nervous. Okay. That was a lot.
I'm fucking done. How do you feel?
Good. Well, it didn't feel great when I was doing it, but
In hindsight, looking back at it.
yeah, feel good.
So that's absolute air. Well done, hard, man. Very good. Very, very good.
I forgot I've got a 5x3. Brutal.
Right now, that's
Minimum
minimum opener.
opener.
Yeah. So like every week we go on, it's how much we can push that up. But if that's where it sits right now.
Oh my goodness. What did I open on last time? 127? I think 127, 135, 140 was. Fuck me, that bounced. I've made myself bleed. Like, here. I need to cut my nails, but I think I might move my pinky, you know? Like 117 2 blocks ago was my week 2 single, and it's now 5x3 back offs on a week 2. What? Oh, hello, sorry. By 7? 3 by 7. By 12 and RPE 8. Last exercise. So I've got GHR 2 by 7 with 10 kilos. Oh my god. Just jumping on the treadmill to do today's video analysis. I always find it so much more productive to do them here. And obviously getting my steps in for today. Also a little PB, so that was nice. Things are just feeling good today, which I'm very, very chuffed about.
So I literally watched that entire thing back and you can't hear a word that I said. Basically what I was saying was today was a no-mo day. It was a no motivation day. I just could not pry myself from bed and it was the last thing I wanted to do, but I had limited time and I have shit that I need to get done and steps is one of those things. Less vloggy and more putting my coach hat on, a bit of a motivation pep talk. No-mo days happen to everyone, and if we wait around for motivation alone, 80% of the time you're just not going to get shit done. And in your head, I think there's a big difference between recognizing things that are in place to help you get towards your end goal, things that are more like habitual, routine, just feel good things, and stuff that's just for fun. So for me, for example, at the moment, steps are just about ticking the box. That's why at the moment I'm doing them when I can. So for example, some will be morning walks, some will be evening walks, some will be just jumping on the treadmill at the end of a workout. And steps very much used to be not about having a set step count, but more about the routine of a morning walk. So I would always get up and it would be the first thing that I did to start the day to get some fresh air, vitamin D, get some endorphins flowing, clear my head before I started work. Been a bit hectic recently, and of course that has shifted away from I need the structure and the habit to I have to hit a certain step count. So in your head, if you have something in place that is there to help serve you to get you towards an end goal, that is a non-negotiable. So for me, for example, that is steps, that is training, the stuff that you have to do if you want to get yourself from A to B. And if you're dead set on achieving that end goal, this is shit that you've just got to do. And no-mo days are no exception. And so the best piece of advice that I can give you on those days is do it anyway. And I know that sounds shit. Do it happy, do it sad, do it angry, do it unmotivated, do it when you've only got 50% to give, but just do it. Do it because you promised yourself that you would. Do it because it's something that's going to help you get to that end goal. And do it because doing it is way less of a burden than avoiding it. And the other distinction to make is, if it is a non-negotiable, don't let yourself excuse or disguise it as not a non-negotiable depending on how high your motivation is that day. If it's a non-negotiable, it should be a non-negotiable on days where motivation is high or low, regardless. And if it's things that are in place for habit and routine, recognize the differences. And there's absolutely, totally for everyone going to be things that are okay not to do, especially if it's just trialing things, if it was just something for a bit of fun to make you feel better and you're just not up for it that day. There is a big difference between those things and stuff that you need to do. But today was just one of those days where I had to do it because it was the only pocket of time that I had, and it's a necessary thing that I need to make sure that I'm taking off every day, come rain or shine, in whatever format. These are the steps, this is your day, it's got to get done, so go and do it. Which is challenging, but yeah, so steps were ticked off this morning, and basically today is a check-in day, so I'm just on calls pretty much most of the day, which also means that I'm going to sit down for most of the day. So the plan of action is just work, and then hopefully I'm going to aim to get about 20 minutes in with a massage gun as part of my recovery today as well. I've had to rearrange my week a little bit, so I'm actually having 2 back-to-back rest days in the middle of the week where I don't usually have one. And that's purely as I've got plans to train with friends, and then on a Saturday, Connor and I always train together. So I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, today, tomorrow, rest days, and then training Friday, Saturday, and then resetting next week so that I actually start the week on a Tuesday, so I still have the 2 rest days between my day 4 and day 1 of the next week, because obviously everything starts to ramp up, and recovery is just not something that I am willing to slack on at this point. So anyway, that's basically what today looks like. Similar tomorrow, but yeah, I'll check in with you then. It was just a little bit of a motivational pep talk off the back of what I was feeling today, so hi, hello, happy Thursday. Again, not much to report. I am being an absolute hermit, and it's made me realise how much I hate having 2 rest days in the week. So today has consisted of more steps, more stretching, and basically just client programming, admin day today in my comfies. The only thing I have done is I went and got myself some baby powder, which I've been meaning to do for ages, but after the whole debacle with deadlifts the other day, I have decided to go out and purchase some, just so that I stop making my legs bleed when I deadlift. So that's basically all I've got to report today. It's just much the same as yesterday. I did have a full, I said I was going to do 20 minutes. I did a full like 45, 50 minutes with the massage gun yesterday, which was brutal. Brutal. I've got so many knots built up behind my scap. My hips are obviously just brutalized, and my adductors this block have been working hard. So I was mainly just sort of like focusing on them, but just giving everywhere a little bit of TLC. And it's hard to maintain something that you know is good when it's just painful, but it's a promise that I've made. So yeah, I'm not going to do it today because I'm training tomorrow. I'm just dealing with the after effects. So plenty of water, plenty of stretching, just trying to move and not be completely glued to my desk, which is challenging, but we move. So yes, rest day number 2, but I'm itching to get back to the gym because it's all that I do, and I've literally just been on my own all day, which is fun. So this at least keeps me talking, because yesterday at least I had calls. Today I'm doing nothing. So this is basically the first word that I've said other than thank you at the shops, which is so depressing. It's so depressing. Anyway, so yes, I could ramble. I could actually talk for England. So I'm going to sign off now, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hello. Friday. I've just been for coffee with my friend to have like a business girlies morning. And now I'm off to the gym. So I thought we could have another car chat. It's just really nice to actually put on some makeup and feel more human. Right, so today is day 3, which is secondary squats,
And of course it's another day of bench. So today I have pause squats. So we've got a top double and then 3x5 back offs at -15%. Spoto bench, which is the one that basically looks like you're half repping, but I'll talk through more of that in my session in the weeks to come as to why. And then we've got dumbbell press, tricep push down and underhand lat pull down. So this is like my upper body accessory day. I also got a new phone. So last week's pause squats I had an RPE 5 target. This week is literally just a 5.5, which is hard to gauge. And then Spoto bench is also a 5.5, so this is a really chill day, and then we're pushing it more in the accessory work. Basically, I have 2 gym memberships, which I realise is not very financially savvy of me. But my coach trains in the gym that you've been seeing for the past couple of days. So it's just nice to have like people to go and train with, and the equipment is better. Obviously we have comp plates there. It's a little bit more spacious. And the gym that's closer to me, so that's like a half-hour drive away, but the gym that's closer to me is good, but the equipment isn't great. They actually weirdly have a comp bench. It's just not as easy to train there. So usually I do my primary days at the first gym and then I do my secondary days at the other gym, but because I'm training with my friend I'm actually going back to the other gym. Last warm up, we did 95 for an RPE 5 double last week. So I'm training with Alice today, who is over here. Hi! Nice. That was alright. Much like far stricter pauses than last week as well, which is what I was trying to go for. Okay, back offs. -15%. I love it when my top set is 100 and I have set percent back offs. Because it's so easy. -15%, 15 kilos. I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like this vlog is getting real long, so I'm not gonna do the rest of my working sets, but I've got 2 more. She's walked past like 3 times, being like at the camera, and it's not been on. Got 2x12 at an RPE 7. Last week was the first time I'd had it in a year. We now have tricep push downs. My triceps are so fucking weak, but I've got also 2x12 at 7. I have another 2x12 to finish. This time, I think it's an RPE 8 underhand lat pull down as well. Happy Saturday, angels. So last session, oh my god, last session of 11 weeks out. I'm just waiting for Connor. I'm sat in the car, we're about to go to the gym because today is the day that we train together. We're so busy during the week and I train at really awkward times. But today's session is secondary deadlifts. So we've got pause deadlifts and my close grip bench session. Now this and Larson are the bench sessions that we're kind of pushing a little bit more. So at the moment I've got close grip pause bench at a top double. This week I've got a 7 target and then 3x6 back offs at a 5.5. And then we've got pause deadlifts, top double. Today's RPE is a 6.5 and then 3x3 back offs at -15%. And then the only accessory that I have on today's session is leg press, 2x12 at an RPE 6.
the fuck is he?
Close grip today, I will say my triceps, there we go, feel pretty fried from yesterday. It's going to be rather conservative. I literally did like a 56.5 because we've got micro plates in this gym last week for an RP6 double close grip, and we've got an RP7. Like, I literally think this is 57 and this is going to be like pretty spot on. That's Connor there. May I have a hand out? What the fuck? Oh dear. That was not a 7. I just did a 55 single and that was like a 5.56, so it wasn't an illogical decision, it just went shit. Okay, let's try and redeem. I had 45 last week for an RP5 and it's a 5.5 today, so with the additional fatigue I think that should be pretty spot on, but we'll see. Some days bench just doesn't bench, and I think this is one of those days, but we move. That was bad. I've got 2 more, then my pause deadlift. RP? I'd even say 6, you know?
6, 7?
It was 6.5 was the target, so I've just posted that on the athlete chat that we have with the team, which is basically just for RPE checks and stuff, and my coach is on holiday. Everyone's saying that was like a sub 6 and I've got a 6.5 target. Now I obviously took 132 as a double PB for the first time literally a few days ago, but for some reason my day 4 always seems to perform a little bit better, especially when I'm doing pause work, so I've loaded 132. That, according to everyone, was a considerable undershoot, so I'm a bit like, I've massively just underplayed what just happened there, but I'm going to move past it because I've still got a lot of work inside. So I've got a 3x3 at minus 15%, which is 112.
My camera died after deadlifts, which is super helpful. So I'm literally having to charge it in my car. But do you know what? Today has been... I haven't given myself enough credit because... I said I wasn't going to get emotional this prep. I literally like spoke about doing this series on my Instagram story and I was like, I promise I'll try to cry less this time. But yesterday we had some really shit news and I've actually really struggled and getting to the gym today. It wasn't necessarily difficult because I know that it was something that was going to make me feel better, but mentally when you have to psych yourself up to sessions like this, it's that much more challenging. So I feel like I just glossed over it. I think that's partly because when I train in front of people in the setup of my gym, like the deadlift platforms are directly opposite the benches. So when I'm deadlifting, there's people benching, I just don't talk. And I obviously took 132 as a double for a PB a few days ago, and I just paused it for the same number of reps but a lesser/matched RPE. That's a huge win, and I did not give myself the credit or hype, and I know that that's just mentally where I'm at today because of what's happened. But I don't want to gloss over that. Like, the progress that I've been making in the space of time that I have, I should be more excited, and I genuinely am. And like watching my totals go up, like that was a 10 kilo PB from 10 kilo jump from last week as well. Like, we're making really good progress and things are still feeling really comfortable. I am just the worst person for getting in my own head about things and not giving myself credit where credit's due. Like, I've been trying to get more arrogant as a lifter and go, yeah, I can do that, and try not to undershoot so regularly or so drastically. but it's challenging. So I'm still learning to take the wins. I'm still learning to give myself the credit that I probably deserve, but that's a hard thing for me to say. I guess that's just a way to round things off, because that is 11 weeks out, ticked off. That's all 4 training sessions done. And since last week, my estimated total has gone up 15 kilos. I've gone over my maxes, like my current PBs on every single lift, quite considerably in terms of estimations. Now, they're obviously only estimations, but it's still a huge marker of progress. And so in light of what has actually ended up being a really shit time in the last 24 hours, I'm going to say that I'm really proud of myself. And I hate saying stuff like that. It's just something I really struggle with. But I'm trying to get better, and I'm going to force myself to, which is why it's quite nice to have these chats, if nothing else. Anyway, a bit of an emotional ending. But that's 11 weeks out, done and dusted. So I'm going to leave the vlog there. Of course, if you have enjoyed, want to follow along for my emotional car chats, rants and training, then please make sure to like, subscribe, let me know what you guys think so far. It's been a bit of a journey, but I can't wait to continue sharing it all with you. And if there's anything else as well that you guys want to know from my prep, what it looks like, anything in more detail, then please let me know in the comments, and I can try and make sure that I share that with you, because we've still got a little while yet. But yes, all the love in the world, and if you're going to take anything away from this, please make sure that you hype yourself up and you give yourself the credit that you deserve. Okay, anyway, I'll see you next week, guys.